Now, I know tools. It's one of those subjects. It's one of those subjects that I pride myself on. I am always learning and always interested to learn about new tools. But rarely do I come across a tool that is elegant in its simplicity. There are some exceptions. A hand plane is an elegant and relatively simple device. But it has some things that need to be maintained rather regularly, or it just won't function as intended. Then you have your old marking gauges, like these guys, that are elegant in their simplicity. It is nothing but a stem, a fence, and something to mark with. In this case, it is a sharpened dowel or a rod. It's a wonderful device. But for Christmas, my aunt bought the girls something that I've never seen as a simple device, and yet it exists. And it is this guy right here. And I may have to back up a little bit. Let's see. So this is a Magiscope microscope. And I'm a little bit dusty, but it's actually very easy to maintain this thing. Unlike most microscopes that have a lot of moving parts, this one does not have very many. It has a coarse adjustment, that's it, and a finer focus here. It's a very simple device, and I have to say that I am impressed, like astonishingly so. Can't leave this damn thing alone because I am so impressed by its simplicity. Now, it is a bronze tube, or brass. I'm sure it's just probably high alloy brass, with an objective and an eyepiece, a magnifying eyepiece. And it still has a lighted stage. You can see illumination coming through that is accomplished through this acrylic light bar. Now, you're going to see where the dust is coming from. Sorry, pretty fine dust. It was sitting behind a sander. It doesn't look like much, and I'll be very honest, I was a little bit, had a little bit of doubt when I first saw it. But we have a nice, stout aluminum base. It's a little light, but it's heavy enough that it's stable and you can use it readily. We have a very clear lens. Let's see, hold on, which side my damn camera on, that you can readily peer through. Ta-da! All that light, by the way, is coming through there. There's no batteries, no nothing required. It doesn't need to be plugged in. It's light enough to be carried around and very functional. She also bought another objective, multiple of 4, and another eyepiece, a multiple of 10. So the is 20, 40, 50, and 100 times magnification. I just ordered another one actually, and there's some slides in here. Now this thing is a wonderful device. I mean, just look at it. It's got a nice cast base. Like I said, it's just heavy enough that it's very stable. Like I can't just, easily prod it around. I mean, I can, but I'm pretty big too. It's got a huge stage. And anything that I can fit under here, I can look at. Anything. You can't do that with a normal microscope unless you have a one that's on a radial arm. And I can take the tube off, and I can peer through it anywhere. And they sell a couple of little accessories that go with it, one of which is a little thing that clamps on here, so that you can use it as a pocket scope as well. And, I mean, the simplicity of this thing is amazing. Yet it's so light and easy to carry around, I can just simply put it in this box here. And it's ready to go. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do that. You know me, I'm going to make a nice case. I've got some cedar over there. I've got some other pieces of fir and I've got some chunks of lignum vitae. I mean, I am stunned at how nice this is. And it's not like, if you buy a cheaper, this is not cheap, by the way. This is a very nice, oh, excuse me. I should also point this out. Look at this shit. Right there, baby. It's made in Sarasota, Florida. Like, he ain't fucking around. Look at that, right there. Whenever you buy one of these, apparently you support 30 American companies. So, yeah, we're not, it's just beautiful in its simplicity. It should be easy to maintain and keep care of forever. But whenever you look at a microscope that's in the affordability range of most people, and this should be in the affordability range of most people. I mean, it's more than going out to buy dinner or something. I think this is about $300, but that's an achievable thing for a high quality microscope. And this one's not just a high quality microscope; it is also a high quality microscope that you can carry around with you. And that alone is awesome. It's not cast iron, which is just crazy to me. I've never, associated a lighter microscope with quality, and yet looking through this thing, I'm sure you've probably seen the images of algae, and that is just a handheld photo over this thing. When you look through it at just 100 times magnification, you can see the little cubicles, the little plant cells that hold the algae together, and they're just in beautiful condition and look amazing. And that was simply algae that we pulled out of the pond. And it came through so clearly. And when you get a cheaper microscope, usually you get these little colorful, like, distortions at the edge of the image, or at the very edge of the, your optics. There's none of that in this. This thing is just perfect. I don't know. Like, I'm sitting here raving about it, but as far as a small microscope goes, I mean, look, I could pick the whole thing up with one hand. That's everything. That's slides. That's the extra pieces. That is, the microscope and the stage and its light source and everything with just one hand. I mean, I am just stunned at how perfect yet elegantly simple this damn thing is. And I can't stop messing with it. I just want to look at everything right now. And I'll admit that I spend a lot of time glaring at teeny tiny things, but this is a little bit more elegant than that. So, yeah, that was Chiana and Corinne's big Christmas gift for my aunt, and she went above and beyond with this thing. I was going to buy the girls an Magiscope, and Magiscope's a good brand. It's not a bad brand, but they're made in China, and my aunt went above and beyond, and we've got the other lens coming, so we'll be able to let the girls look at things with up to 100 times magnification. And yeah, I am so stunned with this thing. So I'll post this video, and then I'll post a few photos to go along with it, so you can see some of the things that you can look through. And I'm not going to look at anything special. I'm just going to take a piece of wood and maybe some sawdust or shavings or something, and just peer at it, because you can with this. I don't have to set up a slide because of the way the stage is on this thing. There's, the compound slide's not there in the way. I can just move it by hand. And I'm not limited by the thickness. With a standard microscope, you can only look at things that are, within its range. This thing, if it fits underneath of it, you can look at it with magnify. You can look at it microscopically. And I think that's one of the more fascinating things about it, is how this guy, and he's still alive. You can find him on Magiscope, Rock Magiscope. The man who invented this thing is still alive and still perfecting this device and creating things to go along with it. And they sell spare parts, so if something gets damaged, you can replace it. If something is broken, they've got a warranty to cover it. And I just contacted them, and on freaking the day after Christmas, they were willing to write me an email almost instantaneously and tell me, yeah, your warranty's covered, even though it was a gift. So that is an awesome gift. So if you take the time to watch this, first off, thank you, Aunt Mary. And second off, that thing is amazing. I'm just stunned at how perfect it is and yet how simple. I'm going to take it to the brewery in the next few nights, and one of my buddies is a microbiologist, and I'm going to have him peer through it because I think he would be surprised by it as well. Anyways, that's it. Good night.